I want to share a story, one that's important and perhaps closer to home than you might think. It's about two brothers. But really, it's about much more than just two brothers. In fact, it could be about sisters. It could even be about you, even if you've never had siblings. This is also a story about an alcoholic father, but it's more than that, too. It's about a legacy, a choice, and the way we carry our past. These two brothers were twins, inseparable from the start. They grew up under the shadow of their father's alcoholism. But he wasn't just an alcoholic. He was an angry, bitter man. A man who filled their home with sharp words and angry fists, who raged against the world and everything in it. The father's fury was as much a part of their lives as the walls that held their childhood. From the time they could see, they watched. From the time they could hear, they listened. And with every angry word, every storming fit, they learned. They learned fear, resentment, survival. As they grew through childhood, into adolescence and beyond, their father's grip never loosened, and neither did his drinking, his anger, or his endless flame of the world. Years passed. The twins grew into men, 40 years old now. And while time and distance lay between them and their childhood home, some things hadn't changed. Their father, now an older man, was serving a sentence for violent crimes, one more of many. But he wasn't the only one behind bars. One of his sons was, too. The mother went to visit her imprisoned son. Looking at him through the glass, she asked quietly, "How did you end up like this?" The question seemed to pull something dark from him, a wound that hadn't healed. "What choice did I have?" he answered bitterly. "My father was an alcoholic. He showed me how to live." Later, on her way home, the mother went to see the other twin. This son's life, however, had turned out very differently. He had never touched a drop of alcohol in his life. He was happily married, blessed with two beautiful children, and living a successful, fulfilling life. One day, his mother asked him, "How did you end up like this?" He paused, his gaze distant, before responding, "My father was an angry alcoholic. What choice did I have? I didn't want that life for myself. I remember watching him, thinking, that will never be me. No matter what, I wanted the opposite for my life and my kids' lives." The moral of the story? It's not about what happens to us. It's about the meaning we give to what happens. That meaning is what shapes our lives. That is what shapes who we will become. We have a choice. We can blame others and the world for where we are, like his brother in prison, or we can view the negative moments in our lives as blessings in disguise, as guiding lights showing us what we don't want for ourselves. They can be strong reminders that we can do better, that a better life is possible, but that it won't come easily. Through self-reflection, through radical responsibility, we can create a brighter future, not just for ourselves, but for our family and everyone we care about. We can choose to live in anger and bitterness, seeing only what's wrong in the world, and we wouldn't have to look far to find it. Or we can choose to see the good in others and the good in every situation. We can believe that even the hardest challenges are sent for our benefit, and if we look closely, we won't have to search long to find it. In life, we can choose to be the victim or the victor. We can focus on the mess in everything or the blessing in everything. We can take responsibility, not for others' actions or for the misfortunes of life, but for our own choices, our responses. Or we can let circumstances and other people dictate our quality of life. So, the question is, what do you choose?